Hi, Pam. It's Susan and Pam again. Pamela, Susan, Pam. Thanks so much for being here. And if you would share this live, I would appreciate it very much. I feel like my lighting is a little off and I'm not sure why today. Oh, Jill, that makes me happy to know you're excited to see a demonstration with us. Today was Operation Make More Christmas Cards in my house. And gosh, I'm working on cards and getting some, I'm gonna try turning this off and see if that helps. No, not really. Working on cards and gifts for my team and hoping to get those out tomorrow. Plus I have a team Zoom party tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to, but you know, that's always a little stressful to have a Zoom thing going and hoping all the technology works out just right. Maybe it is better off. I can't, for some reason the lighting is off the last couple days, and I've moved things around slightly, but I didn't think it would make that much of a change, but we'll see. Anyways, if you feel like this is too dark, let me know and we'll make some adjustments. Let's see if I can do this. But anyways, I've been so busy working on holiday things. Emily is home. We've celebrated my birthday, which of course was lots of fun, but that ended up being kind of an entire weekend, and then Monday evening as well. And of course, if you know me, anytime I have the opportunity to spend time with my daughters, you know that I kind of jump at the chance to do that. So it's a little bit hectic with me trying to actually get done all the tasks I have on my list this week. But I've been, I unpacked my pre-order things and I've shown a few, and I've worked on some card swaps that I need to mail out soon. But other than that, I have not played with my new product just for the sake of playing. So I knew that I wanted to do something with new product tonight. And then I added in just what I don't really know what to call this, like peekaboo cards or window cards. And then I decided to go a step further on this one and make it a fun fold as well. So kind of a different twist with the cutout circles, but we will get to that very shortly. Waiting for a few more people to jump on. If you can share, I would appreciate it very, very much. All you have to do is click the word share and you can share it to your timeline. Anyways, I did want to throw out a reminder, if you are still in need of gifts for your crafty friends and family, shipping is going to be a little bit hard to get things shipped on time for Christmas, especially without paying expedited shipping charges, which is something I always try to avoid doing. But I do have Stampin' Piece gift certificates. I have sold many of these this year, and I know the recipients will be absolutely thrilled to receive one. Or if you have things on your list and you want to give a hint to your family members when they ask you, what do you want? Keep in mind, Stampin' Up or Stampin' Piece gift certificates are available for a full year. So these will not expire until December 31st of 2021. Although people typically don't like to hang on to them that long, they get so excited to want to use them right away. But this is an option, and I am happy to, once payment is made, I am happy to send it to your gift recipient if you prefer that I send it directly to them, or I can send it to you at your home as well. Okay, so tonight's, this is not I'm going to have to flip that light back on. I feel like it's fading out for you guys, but for me, I need that extra light. So hopefully this will work out. Hi, Diane and Mary Lou. I'm so glad you're all here. Hi, Patty Schuler. Okay, so products I'm featuring are the Darling Donkeys stamp set. And this is a Sale-A-Bration stamp set, meaning customers will be able to get this free with a $50 order from January 5th through February 28th. In addition to that, I'm also using the Oh So Ombre 6x6 Designer Series paper. And let me just pull some of this out so you can see it. So there's basically 4 colors to this: Bermuda Bay, and Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, and Rococo Rose. So it goes like this. So here's one side. You get the Bermuda Bay ombre and the ombre with the dots. And then you flip that over and you've got the Rococo Rose. And then we also have Granny Apple Green ombre and the ombre with the dots. And when you flip that over, we have Blackberry Bliss. So I love, love, love these colors. Pamela, thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. That is so helpful to me. And then in addition to that, I did not put any embellishments on these cards yet, but I did pull in the Opal Rounds, which are a package of new embellishments that you'll find in the January-June mini catalog. And this is part of the, I believe it's called Sand and Sea suite, about the seashells and all that. So really fun. And what I love about these is they seem to pick up the colors that are in your cards or paper crafting. Oh, Sally, that is such an honor. Thank you so much for sharing my cards with your upline and sideline demos. That is awesome. And I know you live close to me. So one of these days when we get beyond COVID, we are going to have a get together and have a stamp date. Yes, thank you. And also I am using the largest circle from the Stitched Shapes dies. I've lost one of my circles and it's been so long, and usually everything turns up, but that is one thing I've lost that has not turned up at this point. Anyway, so I'm using the largest circle from that set. So let me show you how I've made these. We're going to start with this, what should we call it? A peekaboo card? Okay. So let me show you how I do this. First thing is I do need my, oh, and we'll also be using, if you didn't see them here, the blending brushes. And I've pulled out some Stampin' Blends to do my coloring with, but I love these blending brushes. Definitely my new favorite tool. So to start, I am going to get all my pieces together here. This is super simple. I have a standard side card base, and this is Blackberry Bliss 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it 4 1/4 on the long side, and then fold in half. I have cut both my Designer Series paper and my Whisper White insert to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So let me just add my DSP to my card front. Hope you're seeing this okay. I'm going to set aside my Whisper White for later. I do not want to put that on the inside of my card just yet. And I am going to center my stitched circle die right on the front of that card, okay? I want to center it between top and bottom and then left and right. And you don't need to measure it, just eyeball it, and I think it will be just right. Add your second cutting plate. Let's set these aside out of the way a little bit. Then I will pop out these circles, and I'm sure you'll find something fun to do with these circles. I haven't decided what I am doing with my extra circles that I have from these two cards I'm making now and my samples. So this is what I have at this point, okay? Next, you're going to take your Whisper White insert and you're just going to set it in place. Do not adhere it yet, just set it in place. And then you will need a pencil. And I just want you to make a dot at the top, bottom, left, and right of the inside of that circle. And that's sort of used as the guide for stamping. Now, this is a real easy one to do. It's not going to take up the whole space. So if you want to skip that step, that's perfectly fine and just go ahead and stamp. But I did want to show you this. If you don't quite trust yourself to get it centered, go ahead and make those pencil marks. Hi, Carol. Thanks so much for sharing. I am going to be stamping with my black Memento ink pad because I will be coloring with Stampin Blends. And this one of the three donkeys, I think, looks like the party animal, to be honest. And I'm going to stamp that right in the center. And once I've stamped it, so I don't forget, I'm going to right away erase those little pencil dots. Okay. Just make those marks as lightly as you can, and then they'll be easy to erase. Nobody will even know that you did that. I'm using light Flirty Flamingo on the ear. I'm using the light Petal Pink for, what do you call this, the snout? The mouth part of the face. And then I've got light and dark crumb cake blends. Just gonna. How many of you use blends? Actually, there were several that were several individual blends that were on the clearance rack last week. I'm assuming I picked up a few. I'm assuming they went very quickly. But I love my Stampin' Blends. I probably use these for coloring more than I do any other coloring tools at this point. I like to start with the dark blend. Just kind of highlighting or doing the shadow kind of look. The things I think would be darker. And then I go in and fill in with the light one. Sally, I'm glad to hear that. And I am a firm believer of while we all love new products, to use what we have as long as they're working well and satisfying our creative needs. Stampin' Blends make me feel a bit more like an artist with that ability to blend without all the pressure of watercoloring and things like that. Most of those blends are sold out. I bet they are from the clearance rack. That was an awesome deal. Okay, so my donkey's finished coloring. Now I don't want him floating in air, so I'm going to add some color here with my Stampin Blends. When you are using Stampin Blends, and these will be available for everyone beginning January 5th, if you are a demonstrator, you can put these on a pre-order now before they go live to everyone else on January 5th. Ink it up. And then I like to have some scrap paper around and just do a little blending on my paper, scrap paper, before I put it on my cardstock to blend. You see, I got one kind of spot that was kind of heavy, and I try to avoid that. But if it happens, no big deal. Okay. And I'm going to now do a little bit of Blackberry Bliss. When you put your blending brushes in your ink, you're really just tapping it, or sometimes I just kind of roll it on there. It's very, very light. I mean, if I do, like, look, it's already clean, and I could switch it to another color. That's how very little ink I'm actually using or putting on my brush at a time. And it's just a very light touch. Just touch it to the paper and then kind of move the ink around in a circular motion. If you want it darker, you just keep adding more. But I think my advice to you is when you're using your blending brushes, a little goes a long way. Oops, I have a little hair or something on there. That's why I got that mark. But a little goes a long way. You can always add more color, but you're not going to be able to take it away. And honestly, what I'm doing is if I do lots and lots of blending, I will rinse them off at the end of the day in cold water, let them dry overnight. That's all I do. But you can see I can just rub it on my scrap paper and get all the ink out. And then I could use them on the next color without those colors bleeding together onto your paper. Okay, so I'm going to just set this here for now. And on this one I have hee-haw, hee-haw, it's your birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it's your birthday on the inside. And here I'm just putting my finger there because I know I want to be to the right. I want to stamp to the right of my finger because I don't want this message showing through that window on the front. Okay. And then for the hee-haw, I'm going to stamp it 3 times. I did 2 on the other one, but I'm going to do 3 on this one, I think. Looks like a little fuzz or something there. Let me do another one. Oh, that one's lighter than the others. There we go. So I will just go ahead and cut out this first one. Super easy. Just cut a straight line next to the exclamation mark and that H. And then just go right with the curve of the letters. Super easy and super quick. So no fussing about this little bit of fussy cutting, okay? Do the same with this one. Somebody asked me about the blending brushes in a previous demonstration. If you had to have one for each color. No, you do not. like I showed you, you are able to easily get out the ink. You're just putting such a very slight bit of ink on the blending brushes when you're using them. So there's, not a lot of leftover. It's really easy to clean them off on a piece of scrap paper and just move right on to the next color. Now, if you plan on blending with lots of different colors on one project, it might be convenient to have more than one set. They come in a package of 3 for, I believe, $12. So it's a good price point, but if you feel like you would like to have more than just the 3, it still is very affordable to be able to do that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that I have this stamped, I'm going to add this to the inside of my card. I want to point out here, do you see this little line here? That was because I had, I realized after I was doing the blending that I had like a little fiber laying on the brush. So that was my bad. You might want to check that off before you do the blending on your paper. In fact, I might have even picked it up off of my scrap paper because I've been using that a lot today for different things. Okay, so I have that, and I'm going to add my hee-haws just like that. So you could use either your glue dots, or you can use some mini dimensionals, whichever you prefer. And if you have it hanging over the window edge, just be sure that you're not putting adhesive on that part that is hanging over your window edge, because you don't want that showing from the inside, and you also don't want it sticking to the inside of your card. And I can honestly say, when I saw this set, I thought, donkeys? I don't know about that, but do not judge, because look at me. I'm like falling in love with them. I've been seeing wonderful ideas and projects made with them, and they really are so darn cute. So that's the first card, my quick little window card or peekaboo card, whatever you want to call it. Okay. It would be fun to add some little more dimension here, maybe with some grassy marks. Like that. Maybe blend it in with just to give a little more dimension to it. Like I said, with the blending brushes, you can always add more color. You just can't take the color away, so a little bit at a time. So what do you think of that? Would somebody love to win this card? Hi, Gigi. Nice to have you. Okay, so there is my original sample with the Bermuda Bay, and then this is the one with Blackberry Bliss. So if you like this card, be sure to comment throughout the live video, because you may be the winner when I draw. And every time you comment on during the live, you will get your name entered into the drawing for that. Even got an envelope ready for it. Okay. Now for the next card, this is a little bit different, but I will start the same way with the standard size card base. I have my designer series paper cut to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I have just a small border of the Blackberry Bliss cardstock around it. Okay. Once again, I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Remember that you need to open up your card because you don't want to cut all the way through the card. You just want to cut through the front. Welcome, Bonnie. Nice to have you. I'm glad you all think the card is cute. I think so too. And this time I'm going to center my die left and right, but I'm only leaving a little bit of space, maybe a finger width at the top, and I have more space at the bottom of the card front, okay? Then I will add my second cutting plate and roll right through with this. I want to point out something really quickly. You noticed how my machine just scooted a little bit. If you take your thumb and just wipe off these rubber things, because they do collect dust and such, if you wipe those off, that will help prevent the sliding around. You just need to do that every so often, and that helps keep your machine in place when you're working on it. Again, you have 2 more of the big circles to make a project with. If you have ideas for these, let me know. And perhaps that's an add-on project I will show at some point, either this evening or another day. So here is my card base, okay? I've got my peekaboo window. Now I have a piece of Whisper White that I have cut 7.5 inches by 5 inches, 7.5 by 5. And then you're going to score it at 3 3/4. Okay. And this will be a card within the card. Okay, do you remember what the sample looked like? I open up the window front, and then I've got the smaller card inside. Oh no, craft rooms never get dusty, Patty. You should see my floor. Oh, it's bad. And I don't vacuum down here every day. I just do it maybe once a week, but it's really bad right now. In fact, the last time I vacuumed the house a few days ago on the weekend, I did not vacuum downstairs in the craft room. So I've got the vacuum sitting right over there waiting for me to bring it to duty in the craft room here. So this is what's going to happen. Let me see what I put here. So on the inside of this, I have Hee Haw, It's Your Birthday. And I can go ahead and stamp that now with my Blackberry Bliss ink. Even if I'm not ready to adhere it yet. And I would say stamp before you adhere. And why is that? Because I made a little boo-boo there. I jumped a little bit. So I'm just going to fold that back. And that will be hidden. And I'm going to try again with a steadier hand. There, that's better. And then I'll stamp It's Your Birthday. There we go. If you are not part of my Stampin' Piece VIP group, you should request to go over there and request to join. All week long, I'm doing 5 days of birthday giveaways. Each day, I have a photo and a post for you to comment on. And then I will be drawing 5 different prizes, one for each day this week. So it's the opportunity to see what happens in my VIP group, as well as have the opportunity to win a prize. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the inside of my card. And you just want to center it. And you don't have to worry about lining it up with the circle or anything like that, because we know our circle is centered on our card front. So now you're just inserting this mini card to the inside. And you want to be sure the fold of that smaller card is on the right. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is take this piece of cardstock, this Whisper White. This is what I'm going to stamp and color. You know that if I stamp and color with blends on this, it will show through to the back side, which looks a little ugly, to be honest. So I don't want to do that. So I've got a separate piece of Whisper White cardstock to stamp and color on. This one measures 4 3/4 inches by 3.5. So it will have a little bit of a white border around it. So this is 4 3/4 by 3.5. And oh, this is what I want to do. You're just going to lay this in place, close your card, and this is when you're going to mark the 4 dots for top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, so this is how you know where to stamp. So it won't be too high or too low or too left or too right. Once again, I'll stamp with my Memento ink pad. If you're using Stampin' Blends to color, you do need to use the Memento ink. That's the recommended ink to use when coloring with Stampin' Blends. Before you forget and start coloring and blending, you do want to erase those little pencil marks. Isn't this guy cute? I guess they're all cute, but it's funny because I think they each have their own personality. Like I said, the first one definitely is the, the party animal of the group. This one is, to me, looks like the pleaser. Sweet, kind, let me bring you a gift. I want to earn your favor or friendship or whatever. And then this one is just simply, look at me, I'm so darn cute. Look how cute I am. But it's funny, I think they all have their own personality. So, once again, using light Flirty Flamingo for the inside of the ears. I'm going to use light Blackberry Bliss for the rose. I'm using, what am I using? Granny Apple Green for the stem and the leaf. Light Petal Pink for the snout. And then I will use my light and dark crumb cake. Again, I prefer to start with the dark. These wispy hairs up there. The outlines. Oops, went a little bit out there. I find that the Stampin' Blends are also very, very forgiving. You don't have to be perfect at blending to make your colored images look great. I also find that the shades seem to blend better when I color them in circular motions. When I've got the light and I'm trying to blend into the darker shade that I've already added. It also takes just a light touch. Okay, I see some spaces where I went out of the line a bit, but I guess we'll be okay because we'll do some blending around it, which will hide most of that. So now I'm going to bring in some Granny Apple Green. Again, work through it a little bit on the scrap paper first. Start out light, and if you want to add more ink and make it darker, you can. We could even go all the way out to the edge. And then it's that much lighter along the edge. I think you can see the difference though between the very light and the clean Whisper White. Okay, now I am going to use my Blackberry Bliss, making sure I don't have any of those stray strands or threads or anything like I had on the first card. Cute. And I'm just going to blend all the way out to the edge again. What I love too is when you're using these, there's no clear line between the two colors, which makes it look more like true blending. So you can probably see now why the blending brushes are my new favorite tool. Here's the reason why I did not stamp and color with my blends on the white card itself. I think blending to the edges looks really nice as well because it makes that white border around the outside show up even more. So that's what we have. Okay, so you can see the difference in my coloring and blending from here. And now I want to put my Hey Friend on the card front. And I need, let's see. Whoops. I need a scrap. And I'm going to stamp it with Blackberry Bliss. And here it is. Oh, barely fits in there. And it's not quite centered. I'm going to see if I can... I didn't have it quite centered on my strip. You know what? You know what? I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to try something. I told you we were going to use some of these Opal Rounds. Okay, they come in 2 different sizes. And I don't know how well you can see this on the video, but they kind of have, they're like epoxy dots with glitter inside. So you can see it picks up some different colors, some greens and pinks and such. But what I wanted to see is what they look like if I color a couple of these with my Stampin' Blends. Okay, that is the light, no, this is the dark Blackberry Bliss. So you all can tell me what you think. And we don't have to use the colored ones either. We can use them white. Oh, I kind of like the light Blackberry Bliss better. I think you see more of the sparkle. Thoughts? Should I use, I've decided I'm not using the dark, the Opal Rounds colored with the dark Blackberry Bliss, but I do like it colored with the light Blackberry Bliss, or we can just use them plain. What is your thought? Anybody have a preference on that? Got kind of quiet all of a sudden. I'm going to adhere. Oh, I did it like that. I'm trying to change it up a little bit. How about if I put it at an angle here? It kind of adds to the, should I put it down? How about here? Use the light color. Okay, I will do that. Next bit of help I need, should I place the label at the bottom center? Or should I have it at an angle? Thoughts? I'm going to color a couple more of these and let them dry while I'm waiting on your response of where I should add the label. Down at the bottom. Or off to the side at an angle. I'm going with that, Susan. You were the first one to reply. I think that looks just kind of fun. A little different, right? It's good to add some interest. Oh, Sharon agrees with you. Mary Lou agrees with you. Awesome. We're all thinking alike today. You know what that means. Great minds think alike. Okay. So I'm just going to pick this up with my take your pick tool, and I think I'll place one up here and the second one maybe over here, and the third one I'm going to put right on that white label. Oh, and pick up the did not pick up the, oops, just went flying. Did you see that? I missed this, getting the sticky part. There we go. Things sticking out here. Perfect. Oh, I like those. I like those dots. What do you think? Do you love the opal dots? I see myself using these a lot. Where's my first card? I think whoever wins the first card will also want some fun dots on here. How about, I'll do one up here. I won't color these. We'll let these pick up the color from the card itself. Where'd it go? There. And then one over here. Ooh, those are fun. What do you think? You like the dots too? Awesome. Okay, so that is today's demonstration using some new products, Darling Donkeys stamp set. Again, this is free with a $50 order during celebration, January 5th through February 28th. We also use some of the Opal Rounds, and we know that we can customize these by coloring them with our Stampin' Blends markers. We've used the blending brushes, 3 in a pack for $12, super easy to use. And I feel like we used something else. Oh, and the designer series paper, the Oso Ombre designer series paper, which is basically 4 colors, Rococo Rose, Blackberry Bliss, Bermuda Bay, and Granny Apple Green. Lots of fun. Okay, so anybody interested in winning a card tonight? Should I give away 2? I think I can do that. Okay, so I'll give away the 2 I made, unless somebody wants a, maybe I'll give away, I don't know, I'll give away the 2. No, I'll give away 1 of each color. Okay, but I really like these. I think these are darling cards. Definitely something outside of my typical box or what I would typically choose when purchasing Stampin' Up! Products, but super darling. I hope you put it on your list as a free item to get with your $50 order during Sale-A-Bration. If you are a current customer of mine and have placed a Stampin' Up! Order with me since January of this year, I had you on a list to receive a January-June mini catalog as well as a 2021 Sale-A-Bration brochure directly from Stampin' Up! Those were to be mailed by the company starting December 9th. So we're just about a week out. So I would say maybe if you get past Christmas and you don't have yours yet, let me know. Definitely if you don't have it by the end of December, let me know. I did purchase some extra sets, and I will be happy to drop a complimentary catalog and Sale-A-Bration brochure in the mail to you. If you have never purchased from me, or it's been a very long time and you are not currently working with another demonstrator, I would love to earn your business and would be happy to mail you complimentary catalogs at your request. You just have to let me know and send me a message or email with your full name and mailing address and your catalog request, and I'll be happy to do that. Okay, so it's Wednesday evening. Gosh, I'm going to keep working on my team cards and try to finish those up this evening so I can get packages in the mail tomorrow. And tomorrow evening, I have a Zoom Christmas party with my team, so I'm very excited about that. And then on Friday, I will be back with another creative project for you all, probably using some new product, but I don't know what that project is just yet. I've had a few ideas rolling around in my head, but I haven't made a final decision for Friday. And I guess that's it. Have a good evening, enjoy the rest of your week, and stay safe. Bye-bye.